Now, there are a number of different ways to record and animate your GPS tracks, and in this episode of Monday Maps, I'm going to walk you through my personal workflow. And just so everyone can follow along, I'm going to show you two complete GPS tracking workflows. One that's totally free, and another that uses more advanced gear and software that'll get you professional level results. Let's get started with how to record. Now, for my free workflow, I have two different apps that I like to use, Gaia and Strava. These both will let you manually start and stop your GPS recording directly on your phone. They're available on both iOS and Android. You can log your full GPS path, elevation, and a handful of other key metrics. And at the time of this recording, they both have free options. Now, occasionally you might hit a paywall, but for the most part, you can do the very basics with either of these apps. So these are really great for things like day trips and shorter outings, but recently I took like a week-long vacation and I really wanted to record every day of this vacation. And I actually tried to do that with these apps and quickly realized the flaw of this particular workflow. So when you're recording using these apps, you're limited to the tech of your phone. So if you're unaware, recording your location is incredibly taxing on your phone's battery. And I don't know about you, but when I'm on vacation, I'm using my phone for like 1,000 different things, from navigating to researching attractions and things to do, to messaging my Airbnb host, to taking photos and videos of my family, along with a ton of other things. So to record a long trip like this, I wanted to have a completely separate device that I could dedicate to just recording my location. And I preferably wanted something with a very long battery life. Now for this case, the best option is a smartwatch. Now I've owned several different watches before and I've even used them to track my location, but I've never had anything really great that I could record over a long period of time. So this particular trip got me interested and curious to figure out what are the current models of smartwatches that I can use to record my location over a long period of time. And not only do I want to record for a long duration, I want to record the most accurate GPS location as possible. So I did a bit of research to figure out what my options were. One of my favorites was from this company called Suunto. So I reached out to them and they were nice enough to sponsor this video and send me one of their top of the line watches, the Suunto Vertical Titanium Solar. All right, it's time to record some activities. So I'm going to be doing some motorcycle rides, some walks around town in an urban environment, while I'll be recording on both Gaia GPS on my iPhone 12 Pro, as well as my Suunto Vertical watch. Now using the Gaia GPS app is incredibly easy. Just hit record and you're going. If you're in range and you have cell service, you will not have to wait for the GPS to lock in before you start recording. You can watch the track as it's recorded live. You have a readout for elevation and speed. You can very easily take photos that will be geotagged. You can add waypoints, and you've got this super sweet little compass view here. And if you go to the trip tab and click on this little icon, you can see the accuracy of your GPS. I love it. This app's great. Now with the Suunto Vertical, I'll select an activity mode first and then wait for the GPS signal to lock. There are 95 plus different activities from which you can choose, and you can even create and customize your own, which I'm doing here. It's insanely cool. I can customize each watch face with the different data metrics that I want to see. So I'm going to create a quick profile for motorcycle cruising. Also, before I start recording, it gives me a readout of how much time the battery is going to give me. And if you navigate down into these battery modes, it will specifically tell you how often it will record the GPS location. So here in performance mode, it's doing it every single second. And as I change the modes here, it's going to show me the extended battery life. However, if I go to all the way to tour mode here, it's going to record my location every 2 minutes. And then of course you have the awesome solar feature. This is sitting out here on my wrist when I'm out on my motorcycle. The sun will keep this battery charged, and from the other reviews that I've seen, it doesn't actually add a charge to the battery, but it will maintain a charge and simply extend those times. All right, I'm back in my office and now I'm ready to transfer these files over to my computer. First, let's take a look at our free option, which is Gaia GPS. So open up the app and go to your saved section here. I'm going to click on this motorcycle ride that I took, and now I'll click on the share button, and at the very bottom I have export file, and you'll see I have like 4 different formats here. I'm going to grab the GPX and the KML. So I'll click on GPX, and since I'm working in an Apple environment, I'm going from an iPhone to a MacBook Air. It is an incredibly easy workflow, very simple via AirDrop. So I just click on AirDrop and it'll automatically shoot this over to my MacBook. Now at the time of this recording, it's not the same workflow with Strava. So here in the Strava app, if I go to my activities here and I click on this little morning walk that I recorded and click on this, there's nowhere to really export it. So I need to go to the actual desktop website here. So I'm going to open this up. So over here on the Strava website, I'll go to the training drop-down menu and select my activities, and I'll grab this morning walk. And right over here, you can see this download GPX button, or I can go over to the menu on the left here. There's export GPX or export original. Unfortunately, we do not have a KML option. All right, now let's take a look at Suunto and figure out how we can get the tracks from this watch onto our computer. Well, when you do recordings on your Suunto watch, it will automatically sync up with the Suunto app. So I'll open that up here and I'll scroll down, and here I have my motorcycle ride that I recorded. At the very top right, I have this little menu icon here, and I have a couple of different file formats. Once again, I'm going to grab the GPX and the KML files. And it's the same exact workflow. I can airdrop these to my computer. All right, I've got these data files on my computer, and now I want to animate them and bring them to life on a map. So how do we do this? Well, for my free option, I like to use an application called Google Earth Studio. Now, this is essentially a browser-based animation tool that allows you to animate a camera around Google Earth, add keyframes, and then export a video file. And you can actually import these data files. Now, it will only allow you to import the KML format. That is why I exported KML in addition to GPX. And if you remember, we didn't have that option in Strava. So the Strava Google Earth Studio workflow is a little, you're going to have that extra step of converting a GPX format to KML. So if you're going the totally free route, you might want to just go Gaia GPS to Google Earth Studio. Now, Earth Studio is incredibly powerful. I'm not going to do a deep dive here on how it works because that's not what this tutorial is all about. However, if you want to do that, I'll link to some of my other tutorials down in the video description, and you can learn everything you need to know about this program. So some quick pros and cons with Earth Studio. The pros are you get insanely good 3D imagery, and in my opinion, there's no competition to this particular imagery. When you import your KMLs, those routes will be placed underneath these 3D objects. So things like trees and buildings, your routes will show up underneath those, which is incredibly cool. There are two main downsides to this workflow. Number one is that Google imagery isn't easily used inside commercial projects. And number two is the fact that you can't easily animate the routes. You can play with the opacity, you can change the color, but if you want to actually animate them, it's a bit of a wonky workflow where at the time of this recording, you still need to essentially render out two different video files, one with the route, one without the route, and then manually mask in Adobe After Effects. And if the route loops back over itself, this can be pretty challenging. Now, for a much more advanced workflow, I use Adobe After Effects with a premium extension called GeoLayers 3. So here I've already got a project open, and now I'm going to go and grab my Suunto GPX track of my motorcycle ride, and then here is the Gaia GPS version. Now, I'm not going to dive too deep here. I just want to give you a quick high-level view of what you can do with GeoLayers. So here I have the track. I'm going to click on it here and say Animate Feature Path. So I can have this animate around 15 seconds, click create animation, and that's going to create this new animated path right here. And the cool thing about this is if I hit the U key to bring up the keyframes, you can see that it's animating relative to real time here based in this 15-second increment. And I can simply override this by deleting all of the keyframes in the middle and leaving the first and last keyframes. I could also animate the camera view to follow along this feature. I could animate a label along this feature or have another layer in here and automatically animate this layer along the feature. So really, the customization options in here are pretty insane. But let me show you one of the most interesting features here. So with this track selected, I'm going to click on this little button right here, Draw Property Charts. That will automatically create this chart. And over here in the GeoLayers panel, I can change the Y-axis to show elevation, and voila, now we have our elevation profile. I can change the color here to this white color, and then I can grab this one here and I can start to resize it, reposition it wherever I want. And now to actually animate this chart and have it animate on to match the timing of the route animation, I simply need to grab the area chart layer, and then if you look here, we have fill progress X. If I start to bring this down to 0, you'll notice that it crops it. So all I need to do is alt-click it to add an expression, and then I just need to property pick whip or connect this to the end of this. And now, as the path animates on, it will show us our elevation profile. And again, folks, I am only scratching the surface of what we can do here. GeoLayers is incredibly powerful. If you don't know anything about GeoLayers, follow the links in the video description. Subscribe to my channel. I also have a GeoLayers 3 masterclass if you want to get up and running quickly. The main cons of GeoLayers is the price point. It has definitely an obstacle for price and learning. It's going to take you quite a bit to learn this. But again, I have my GeoLayers 3 masterclass. If you're serious about it, follow the link in the description to check that out. Okay, so there you have it, a couple of different workflows here to get you started recording your location history and bringing it to life by animating it and creating a beautiful map visual. All right, I want to summarize some of my key takeaways here. So I've had this watch for about a month and a half, 2 months now. I've been recording my activities every day, all my walks, my runs, my motorcycle rides. Anytime I go anywhere, I'm recording it via both the Suunto watch and the Gaia GPS app. So I've really noticed the differences here between these two workflows. So the whole reason I wanted to get this was battery life. I was tired of zapping my phone battery by recording my location. And even with the previous watches that I've used, the battery was never satisfactory. It always died way too soon. I could never keep it going for a long period of time. So having a piece of map tech like this watch is just incredible for that specific reason. It's kind of the whole reason I wanted to get it. And the fact that you have a standalone device to record your location that's just on your wrist, it's not taking up any space. It's not like I have another device that I have to lug around. It's right here on my wrist, super small, super lightweight, and I actually love the look of this watch compared to basically any other brand, any of the other watches I've seen. It's a perfect size, perfect design. Now, if we look at GPS accuracy, both Gaia GPS and the Suunto watch did an incredible job. You can see they're pretty close here, with the Suunto being much smoother, as it naturally should be. So if we look at the Gaia GPS track, you can see we've got some jaggies right here. Still did a really great job. Again, this is going to differ depending on the device where you're using Gaia GPS. It more so has to do with the GPS chip inside of the device. And I know that Gaia, the app, will use an algorithm to try to smooth this out and try to calculate it and make it as accurate as possible. But that's the beauty of having a standalone device like a Suunto watch that has a dedicated GPS chip to record your location as accurate as possible. Not only that, you can change the sample rate or the frequency or the quality of that recording. So for example, if I'm riding around on my motorcycle and going pretty fast around a lot of turns, I'm going to want more detail in my recording. So I would probably pick performance mode. Whereas if I'm just walking around a city and I want to record like my vacation over the course of a week, then I'm going to switch it to something like tour mode. And if you looked at our battery life, we have something like 20 days on this particular mode right here. So pretty cool. So this is a really versatile device. And I'm not even scratching the surface of how powerful this thing is. So I'm just basically focusing on recording accurate GPS location for long periods of time. I'm not even touching on all the other features like navigation. I mean, Suunto as a company is known for their navigation tech. So this thing is incredible. I haven't even talked about any of these features. So the fact that all of that is available as well is incredible. In fact, Suunto is a really interesting company. They have a really interesting history, and even the name of the company translates to direction in Finnish. But I mean, you've got the compass, you've got free offline maps, you've got all the routes that you can save out. The app is absolutely incredible. I love it. Oh, and by the way, you can actually completely skip step number 3 of this video, the animate step, if you're using the Suunto app, because these animations will be automated. You can just share them out. It will ask you if it can record your screen. It will record the screen, give you that little animation playback, and then you can put it on any of your social media accounts directly. It's super duper cool. I just can't say enough about this company. They're awesome. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you use any of these workflow techniques, let me know in the comment section how it went for you, or if you found a different method that you like, please do share it with the community down in the comment section. Thank you once again to Suunto for sending me this watch. This thing is a beast. I absolutely love it. I'm going to be a hardcore ride or die Suunto person from now on. This thing is beautiful. I love it. I honestly feel like a superhero with this. The first few weeks I used it, I felt like Iron Man or something with this cool tech. So yeah, again, if you're interested in getting some tech like this, go check out the lineup from Suunto. They have a variety of different price points and different products that you can get. Okay, thanks. See you next time.